Hello everyone, Ollie here, and welcome back to the channel once again. Thank you for joining me. I'm putting out an update video, a general update video at the same time as this one will come out. It's currently a week before I start medical school. That's really exciting and also terrifying, but I've made a general update video that goes along with this one, and a week before I start medical school, I thought it would be a cool idea to talk about the reason why I want to become a doctor. I thought that would be a cool thing to get kind of on tape, well, on video I suppose, a week before I start, before I've been exposed to the system, so I can get this moment cast in stone and look back at myself in 4 years' time and laugh at what a fool past me, or current me now, is. So I think I've alluded to this in past videos, but it's taken me an extremely long time, or it feels like a very long time, to be able to put this properly into words that other people can understand. And the reason I think it seems like a long time is because it's something I've wanted to do for as long as I can kind of actively remember. Actually, strictly speaking, that's not 100% true, because when I was young I also remember wanting to be a caterpillar. But then when I got a bit older and it turned out that recruitment opportunities in that particular sector are lackluster at the best of times, I mean, I think you can understand the next logical step was obviously a doctor. So I've kind of had this goal in my head since I was about 14, you know, the kind of age when you actually start to think, what am I maybe going to do with my life, what would I want to do as a job? And I've since simply not encountered anything else that I think I would rather do. I've come close, believe me, there have been some fantastic opportunities, particularly following iGEM, which I did last summer. I was offered a 4-year paid PhD programme. And I mean, that as an opportunity was really appealing, and it actually came down basically to a choice between that and going to medical school, and that was tough, but obviously I still chose medicine. But all throughout my undergraduate degree at Newcastle, which I started in 2014, I did have this quiet, kind of uncomfortable thought, and I'd simply invested too much time and energy at that point into that way of thinking to get out of it. And very thankfully, I was not asked at my medical school interview, why do I want to be a doctor? Because truth be told, I would not have been able to give a proper answer, I don't think, if I had been. And that goes against everything that I now preach on this channel, on the website. You should think these things through and make sure you have an answer before you go in. But a lot of these things, obviously, I've only learned through failure, so that's why I want you guys to know, so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. And it was months after my interview, as I was preparing to take my final exam of my undergraduate degree at Newcastle. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, my exam was at 9:30. I was sat in the depths of the Robinson Library, and as I was kind of idly just going over my cell biology notes, it clicked with me. And this is what I got. So I know it sounds a little bit weird, but hear me out. So basically, if I think about the times in my life when I've been the most scared, and I mean really scared, not just like slightly panicked, but actually struck with fear. It was basically those when I thought that either myself or the people close to me would come to mortal harm, or potentially even die. And thankfully there haven't been that many in my life, but I mean, I'm sure that you probably know what I'm talking about, these very kind of crystallized moments where time seems to sort of slow down, and you know in that instant that no matter what actions you take, it's simply a roll of the dice as to the outcome of that situation, and if someone lives or if someone potentially dies. And ultimately it's those very scary situations that provide me my motivation. Because I think that maybe if I had the skills, the integrity, the ability to think quickly and react that a doctor does, then maybe I could use those abilities to exert a little bit of control over those situations, both for myself and the people around me. And that could be a really selfish way of looking at it. I haven't really decided if that's the best way to put it yet. But if I were in another one of those situations, say we're just out maybe on the high street somewhere and a family member that I'm with collapses. And I mean, I've trained in resuscitation and first aid, you know, like most people do, but I would still hope that in that panicked situation that a doctor was nearby, because of that sense of calm and hope that they exude. And obviously I know that medicine isn't usually carried out that way. It's contained within hospitals and performed in a very, very controlled manner. But the point still stands where I feel like if I could make the sorts of interventions for people that improve their quality of life, their sense of security, to be able to do that for my own loved ones and the loved ones of other people, then if that were the case, I could at least go home at the end of the day thinking that I'd made a positive contribution to society. And that, ladies and gentlemen, as of a week before starting medical school, is why I want to be a doctor.